guess it still is. Just a quick question first. The foundation you mentioned that George Cole resigned from or is suspending his involvement in, is that Oldtimers or another one?
This is the Southeast Cities Education Foundation.
Okay, but not the board itself. Is he still on the board?
I believe he stepped down from the board too.
He's resigned or suspended it?
He's resigned, I believe.
Which board?
The Southeast
Cities Education.
Southeast Cities
Right,
Education
but,
Foundation, he's resigned.
but this board, is he still a member of this board?
No,
Okay, so he has no more involvement in the management of this
he
organization?
never has. Right, as I understand from last year.
Okay, thank you very much. And I apologize, I'm a Los Angeles County taxpayer, so it involves me as well. And I apologize, I don't know your name, you have no name card, sir. Could you state?
My name is John Gates. I represent the superintendent for local District 6. We are ex officio members of the board, so there's information. But
So you're part of the LA City School System?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to be sure, thank you very much. Teresa Jacobo, are you still the treasurer of the organization?
Yes, I am.
You are. I noted in some of the previous minutes that with the finances, obviously, are something you need to be watched closely. And there was a comment made to you about that. I note the City of Bell's financials have not been published on their website or released financially for 2008 or even 2009 at this point. Will you be releasing the financials for this organization to the public?
I can address that.
Yes.
They already have been. The City of Southgate, we contracted the City of Southgate to provide the financial services for the coalition. And I can certainly.
So are they published? Or does someone have to make a records request?
You can make a records request.
So they're not available for the public to just see on a regular basis like that?
You'd have to contact Mr. Matsumoto, who's the finance director for the City of Southgate.
And make a records request?
Yes.
Okay, so I would just suggest as a county taxpayer, since it does involve my taxes in these schools as well, that on your website you post the financials for anybody to see them, and maybe do a better job than Bell, which still has not caught up in 2008 at this point.
And that is the intent of the staff, that's why we're changing our webmaster. That current vendor wasn't as responsive we wanted, and that is our intent by the end of the year to post all our records, once it's been vetted through the lawyer.
Right. Disclosure clearly is an important thing these days, and I think part of that is also often having an ethics policy in place. Does the organization have an ethics policy or a disclosure policy for the members of the board?
Yes, we do.
You do, and it's published somewhere on the website?
It's
Or do
not
we have to
on
make a
the
records
ordinance,
request?
but there was an ordinance that was adopted to comply with the FPPC and the conflict of interest. Yeah, there was an ordinance adopted early on.
Is it publicly available, or do we need to make a records request?
When you say public available,
I
it's
mean, on the
always
website,
public.
or
It's not available on the website, but we can certainly make that available.
somebody can't casually come across that they have to make a request?
I can send it to you this afternoon if you want.
There'll be a records request coming.
You don't need to do that.
No, I'm happy to do it, I have a lot of questions.
Okay.
And then has each of the members signed that or they
We
participate
do
in
it every year, yes.
Okay. Does it include disclosure forms in terms of their financials?
Yes.
Okay. And any
Those are
property?
available by contacting the FPPC annually. We have a staff person in our firm to make sure that they're all filed.
Okay, I appreciate you answering the questions. And also, does it also ask if they have any financial interest in any real property adjacent to any schools?
Absolutely.
Right. And or if they have ownership in any of the organizations of the Oldtimers Association, including all of the Oldtimers 1, 2, 3, 4, et cetera, that take HUD money, et cetera, for rebuilding properties or.
That I'm not aware of, but maybe you could help us. What would be the conflict of interest that you could see on that relationship?
Well, the Oldtimers Association owns property and has purchased property adjacent to schools and currently still owns that.
Yeah.
And if they have an ownership interest through those entities, Oldtimers or multiple Oldtimers associations, then they don't have to disclose interest in that property, but in that particular ownership of the organization owns the property.
Yeah, you have to keep in mind that the coalition has no power to govern the schools because of the Supreme Court case.
No, I'm not asking that. I'm talking in terms of their
Yeah, but that's
possible.
what I'm saying, because there would be no, even if your hypothetical is correct, there would be no conflict of interest as you're proposing, because this coalition has no power to close, open, or affect any of the schools under California law.
But
What this coalition,
Yeah.
what this coalition was organized to do was to serve as a liaison between the cities and the LA Unified School District on how the schools are actually performing within those cities.
Right, and a worthy goal maybe, I'm not saying it's not, I just think that,
Yeah.
particularly now in disclosure, we've got many failed cities in the southeast Los Angeles area. Maywood is a failed financial city, Bell is a failed financial city, Southgate has lots of challenges.
Well, every city.
I'm not finished with my comment, if that's okay, I'm not asking for a response. Yeah, so I think
we
disclosure is appropriate.
We are governed by a law, and you have a certain amount of time. If you have questions that is regarding, any questions, you can go ahead and have a conversation with the attorney.
Okay,
So we can-
I have one more question, if it's okay.
Sure, go ahead.
Do you think that the board is credible, given that the representatives come from so many failed associations or organizations or cities, that they help lead to financial ruin?
I can answer that. That's,
Yeah.
it's actually a rhetorical question, and I would say on behalf of the
Well,
coalition.
give me your opinion maybe then.
I would say, I have worked with education organizations for the last 36 years, and I would say that this group is the most devoted, credible, ethical group that I have dealt with. I've reviewed the financials, and I've indicated it publicly through the LA Times. They've never once asked for any money for this. This has been all volunteer. They've gone to countless meetings without pay. All they're seeking to do is to improve the education.
Right, I'm not suggesting that they're acting unethically.
You asked the question and I'm answering.
Right,
And-
so
and
it's your opinion that they're ethical and honest,
In
and
terms
should
of
one be
this
indicted, then your
relationship-
opinion will come under question. I
in terms
appreciate your
of-
time.
all
Thank you
right.
very much.